structure, there are two papers. Paper 1, paper 2, right? Paper 1, multiple choice questions. It includes 50 questions. Paper 2, structured essay, then essay. Now, when you look at the paper 1, that is the paper that will be deciding your what? A pass. Why I am saying so? Now, when you look at the complete paper, final mark is 100, right? So, from this final mark, 50 marks will come from multiple choice questions. So, you can see how much it is important, right? And then rest of the 50 comes from the paper 2. So when you look at the second paper, you should write not. That means when you look at the paper 2, total marks will be assigned 1000, right? But multiple choice questions, 50 marks. Each question will be assigning 1 mark. So if you do a mistake, you will be losing 1 mark, right? Suppose if you have scored above 45, that is 100% assuring, you will be scoring immediately A pass. Because out of that, 50, you must only take how much? Somewhere 30 from this. But if you are well planning that you want to get an A pass, make sure that you will score above 45 in the paper 1 and above 40 in the paper 2, right? So that is not very easy, but you should work hard. So you should understand the background, right? Now, when you look at these multiple choice questions, or what you call MCQs, very simply concerning, when we look at your O-levels, still you didn't receive the results, but when you look at your O-levels, you had some MCQ papers in science and some other subjects. How many options were there? 4 options. But here, when you look at the A-levels, there will be 5 options. So, when you look at these 5 options also, more or less similar answers or some relationship will be there. Then you may need to have clear idea how you will be selecting this. That means you must be very knowledgeable to get the best out of the given 5 answers, because only one will be the correct answer. So like that, out of these 50 questions, you will have 40 questions with how many options? 40 questions with 5 answers. Directly you can select it. Understood? Now if you take a question, if I just take one of the past paper question. Now, right? Yeah. Suppose this is the question. Yeah, I will just read it out the question. Which of the following statements regarding lipids is correct? So that's a question, a very simple question. They have given here lipids are macromolecules consisting of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, right? One option. Now, from your knowledge, if you have some idea about it, lipids are not macromolecules. So then automatically that answer is wrong, right? So then that's the reason. Now you should read through clearly, right? The second option. Each hydrocarbon chain of saturated fat contains one double bond. Now Saturated hydrocarbons never contains double bonds. So that is also wrong, right? When fats are formed, clearly get into your mind, glycerol and fatty acids are joined by hydrogen bonds. Glycerol and fatty acids are joined by hydrogen bonds. Is it correct? Hydrogen bonds. Wrong. It is simply covalent bond, right? Okay. Right. Then second one is there, sorry, the fourth option says hydrogen to oxygen ratio in lipids is higher than 2:1. Now we know that when you look at carbohydrates, hydrogen to oxygen ratio is 2:1. But since lipids are concerned, there will be more hydrogen. Then what happens? Hydrogen to oxygen ratio is greater than 2:1. That answer is correct. Time being will be right. Fifth one, two phosphate groups, right, are present in a phospholipid molecule. Two phosphate groups, phospholipid. Now you will be studying that later. Now if you look at a phospholipid, looks like this. Looks like this, right? Phospholipid means there will be a glycerol molecule, right? I will just make it like a box. Here, fatty acid chain. Here, another fatty acid chain, right? To this one, a phosphate group attaches. So then, this statement says what? Two phosphate groups are present in phospholipid molecule. These are two fatty acid chains. Two fatty acid chains are present but no phosphate. So then only one phosphate, then fifth answer also wrong. The first question answer will be the fourth one, right? So like that, when you completely study the subject matters, you will get a clear picture about these facts. So when you go through these facts, you can easily argue, right? You can easily argue on the right questions, then you can score marks. So this is the very important thing that you need to thoroughly keep it in your mind. Understood? Right. Why I have written here 40 questions? Then where will be the rest? The 41 to 50. Most important. Why? You will be given statements A, B, C, D and E statements. These statements you need to clearly read it out. So when you read them, it gives you a clear picture. What are the statements 100% correct? What are the statements not at all correct? That means wrong statements. So there will be some instructions given. A, B, D correct. A, C, D correct. A, B correct. C, D correct. None of the statements or more than one is correct, right? So likewise, then accordingly you will be selecting the right answer. Understood? Okay. So this is very important. Now every day, when you have done certain subject matter, if there is any question related to that, you need to keep remember that you will be doing some MCQs and gather the knowledge. Understood? Right. Now we'll go to paper 2. Paper 2 very important. There are two parts. One is structured essay, other one essay paper. Structured essay means like what you have done in your O-level science paper. That means short questions are there, you have to write the answer for it. But make sure in this paper you are expected to write how many points? 160 points expect. That means when you look at one structured question, there will be sub points expected for you to write 40. So 40 will be multiplied by 2.5. then what happens? You get 100 marks to that one question. So in the structured paper, there will be 4 questions, right? 4 questions. 4 questions. 4 questions bearing 100 marks times 4 equal 400. Now I will tell you a greater mistake doing by our students. What is the mistake? Some students pay more time on structured paper. Now by looking at this, you feel a lot of papers are there, pages, right? So need to go through each and every page to answer. True, it is true. But you should keep remember your allocated time to do this one question is 15 minutes, right? 15 minutes time for me equal 60 minutes mean 1 hour. So you need to keep remember the time that you are going to allocate or time that you are going to use for the paper 2 part 1, paper 2. That means actually part A. Structured as a paper 60 minutes, right? If you are planning this time, then you have enough time for the paper 2 essay part. Because each and every essay you should spend 30 minutes into 4 equal 2 hours, right? So then you have the idea how many questions you should answer in your total paper. Paper 1, 50 multiple choice questions. Paper 2, you should answer how many main questions? 8 questions. Why? Structured essay paper, 4 questions. Essay paper, 4 questions. Altogether, you should answer 8 questions. So, this is not a simple task. Now, you can, when you look at the paper, what you are studying during 2 years, it will be 2 years, your time period designed to study. So, within these 2 periods, what you are studying will be evaluated. 2 years actually, what you are studying will be evaluated within how many hours? 5 hours. 5 hours. Why? Paper 1, 2 hours. Paper 1, 2 hours. Paper 2, 3 hours. And also keep remember your since you are studying biology as your subject, right? Since you are studying biology as your subject, the paper, paper 2 is concerned 3 hours, paper 1 is concerned 2 hours, paper 1 will be the first paper. Paper 1 will be the first paper, that means very first day you will go to the exam hall to answer the paper 1, right? In your examination. Then second day, that means right after starting the exam, second day you will do the paper 2, right? And also keep remember both papers will be happen in the afternoon, right? Both papers will be happen in the afternoon, not in the morning, right? So usual time 1 o'clock to be started. So 1 to 3 will be the paper 1. Paper 2, 1 to 4, 10. Why 4, 10? You will be getting additional reading time 10 minutes. So that is advantageous. Or if you are able to quickly go through the paper, you can even utilize that 10 minutes also to answer the paper. So that is important, right? Now, if your exam falls on the very first exam exam falls on a Friday, then it will be starting by 2 o'clock. That is given time for the religious aspects to have the prayer time. So exam will be starting by 2 o'clock, but usually it is supposed to start by 1 o'clock. But other papers will be happening in the morning, but usually biology will be starting in the afternoon. Right? That is the complete idea. So we'll write, just structure the paper in the blank paper what I have given to you, right? Okay. First point you write. Right? Advanced level biology paper. Advanced level biology paper is composed of two papers as paper 1 and paper 2. Two papers as paper 1 and paper 2. Paper 1, paper 1 paper 1 contains 50 multiple choice questions. 50 multiple choice questions. Each with 5 options. 5 options. Out of 50 questions, there are 40 questions. Out of 50 questions, there are 40 questions with direct 5 options. Direct 5 options. And the questions from 41 to 50, from 41 to 50, from 41 to 50 have 5 statements, have 5 statements, have 5 statements. With instructions given, to select the correct statements according to the given instructions. Right. So we quickly put those instructions. You can simply write them like 5 sentences, those instructions. Now, if you have this in your mind, even in the exam paper, very easily you can answer it, right? First point under that, if only A comma B, and D, if only A comma B and D are correct, if only A comma B and D are correct, D are correct. D are correct. Option 1, small hyphen, option 1. Option 1, if only A comma B and D are correct. Option 1. Option 1. Then you go to the second statement. If only A comma C, if only A comma C and D are correct. If only A comma C and D are correct. Option 2. Right? Option 2. Third one. If only A and B are correct. If only A and B are correct. Option 3. Option 3. Right. Next one. If only A and if no A there. If only C and D are correct. C and D, right, are correct. Option 4. Option 4. Now last sentence. If any other response or combination of responses is correct, option 5. Option 5. Right. I mean, to get a clear picture on this, just to write a simple question, right? I will help you to answer the question. Just take it down. This is taken from Advanced Level 2022 paper, right? So we write, which of the following statements regarding trachedes, TRACHEIDS, trachedes. Have you heard trachedes? Have you heard? Yeah. Trachedes you find in the xylem of the plant body. That is additional conducting tube-like thing will be supporting, right? Okay. I will repeat the question. Which of the following statements regarding trachedes is backslash are correct? Question mark. Once again, I will repeat once more. Which of the following statements regarding trachedes is slash are correct? Right. We'll go to the statements. Now, when you're writing the statements, child, you write it like this. Right. One second. A, B, C, D, E. These are the statements. Now in the paper, when you get, now imagine you score exam, you get like these statements. So this is very important to go through and have the picture on it. Right. First one, we write. They are found in club mosses, M-O-S-S-E-S, mosses, and hornworts, Hornworts, words. Right. Second statement you write. They are long, broad cells. With tapering ends. They are long, broad cells with tapering ends. Right. Third statement, C statement. Their secondary walls are thickened with lignin, 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 thickened. Right. Fourth one, they are involved in conducting water. They are involved in conducting water. Right. Fifth statement. Mitochondria present in the cytoplasm. Mitochondria present in the cytoplasm of mature tracheids provide energy for their functioning. Now, let's see the question. What the question says, which of the following statements, now you have given 5 statements, regarding tracheids are correct. Why they have given is? Sometimes one statement could be correct. All 2 statements may be correct, right? Okay. Now let's see a tracheid would be like this. Right. Like this. If you have space, you can copy down diagram. Right? Right. Now, another tracheid will be come into contact with this way, like this. You also contact like this. Now these tracheids contact with each other through special connections called pits, right? These are pits. Tapering ends get contact with each other. Here also they contact pits. Pits are there. Even laterally you could find pits. You could find pits. And also, you should keep remember secondary thickening also there by use of lignin. I will draw individual cell here to get a clear picture on it. Right. Like this. Right? Okay. By mere looking at, what do you think about the cell? Is it broad or narrow? By looking at the length. narrow cell, right? Now you have a picture. It is a narrow cell. Now quickly look at the statement. Look at the statement given there, right? Um, they are long, broad cells with tapering ends, right? Look at. They are long. Yeah, long, right? Correct. Broad. Is it correct? Wrong. Tapering ends. True. Tapering ends are there. Now see your paper. How tricky is it? Understood? How tricky is it? Now you need to have the right picture on it to answer. That's the reason why I'm saying, especially in biology, you try your level best, right? Even now, some students have realized in the school as well. Uh, those who are planning to sit for the exam now getting, I mean, they have time actually about exam will be coming November, right? They have at least 6 months to get ready. So they are now making short notes. Time to come and show me short notes with diagrams. Why is it? Because diagram is much more convenient to get the more information than statements, right? So that's the reason why when you get a picture, it gives you clear idea about that particular structure. Now stretching, you can by looking at this can understand it is long, true. Tapering ends, and also compared to the length, the width is comparatively less. Why we say it is not a broad cell? Because when you look at xylem, would be much broader and also narrow cell wall, including the perforation plates exist over there, perforation plates like this. Understood? So these are the slits you find. This is xylem. Xylem, vessel, element. So if they say broad, this is correct one. These are actually broader cells, true. But stretch is narrow. Then you can take your, if you have red pen or different color, you put a sign, cross sign there for the statement B. They are long, broad cells with tapering ends. That means it is wrong. You put a wrong mark there. Right, good. Then we'll come to the statement A. They are found in club mosses and hornworts. Now club mosses and hornworts mean very lower plants according to evolution. Right? Club mosses and hornworts are lower plants. So these lower plants you can find vessel, xylem vessels of what you call sieve tubes, nothing you find. Because lower plants, they don't have vascular bundles. Vascular bundles are not there. So you put a wrong mark there for the A statement. Within brackets you write, lower plants, lower plants, lower plants, lower plants do not possess vascular tissues. Do not possess vascular tissues. Low plants do not possess vascular tissues. Right, you have the picture. Now let's go to the statement C. Now A, B both are wrong. Their secondary walls are thickened with lignin. That is correct. That is correct. Statement C is correct. Statement D. They are involved in conducting water. Do they do that? Yes, definitely. when you look at the plant body, xylem, vessel elements, tracheids, how the tracheids are conducting water. So from one, it will be passing through these pits. Water unidirectionally passing through the tracheid to the next one. So unidirectional movement is ensured through the contact with each other. So water is conducting through tracheids. It is correct. Correct. That is correct. Right. Let's go to the statement E. Let's go to statement E. Mitochondria present in the cytoplasm of mature tracheids provide energy for their functioning. You should keep remember xylem vessels, tracheids and xylem fibers. Now, if you look at xylem, there are 4 types of tissues. What are they? Xylem vessel elements, tracheids, xylem fibers, xylem parenchyma. There are 4 types. Out of these 4 types, you should thoroughly keep remember 3 types of cells are dead at functional maturity. That means xylem vessel element is dead cell. Tracheid is a dead cell, and also xylem fiber is also dead cell. But xylem fiber and the tracheid, what is the difference? Through fiber there will be no conduction, but tracheid will be involved in the conduction of water. So that is very important for you to keep remember. Now, at functional maturity, you can't find even a cytoplasm. If you can't find a cytoplasm, can you find mitochondria? No. If you can't find cytoplasm, you can't find mitochondria. So then you can conclude here, statement number 5, what they say. Mitochondria present in the cytoplasm of mature tracheids provide energy for their functioning. Is it correct? Wrong. You put wrong sign there. Right? You put wrong sign there. Right. After that, you will just write at the bottom, because in the MCQ paper, when you're doing the exam, you don't need to write anything else. But for your understanding, I'm giving, just write there, statement C and D, statement C and D, statement C and D are correct. Statement C and D are correct. Statement C and D are correct. Therefore, option is 4. That means correct option is number 4. So now you have a clear idea, right? So this is how you get 41 to 50 multiple choice questions in your A-level paper. Understood? Right. But when you come to your very first exam in your school, very first term exam, will you get all these 10 questions? No. Maximum you get 5 questions to do, because in the very first exam, first term exam, you will get 25 MCQs and very simple questions, simple paper. Why is it? Because if you get a very hard paper at the very beginning, you will feel very bad, right? To take you to the final destination from the beginning, you should have the less pressure on your mind. Because now keep remember, when you are studying this subject matter, don't make it pressurized. Leisurely you study, and the most important thing is right understanding. Because now, when you look at especially the subject biology, since it is very close to you. Why I am saying very close to you? Because you will be studying your body structure, systems, and you will get on the environment. You can see many things day-to-day life when you come to the open environment, right? You may see animals, you will see plants, and you will see different biological processes being happen. So by looking at them, what we are doing under this syllabus, right, understanding with correct subject points. Understood? Okay. Now let's go to the paper 2. Now we wrote the paper 1 structure, paper 2. You write paper 2, paper 2, paper 2. Right. Paper 2 has, paper 2 has, paper 2 has two sections. Paper 2 has two sections. As part A, as part A and part B. Part A and part B. Part A and part B. Right. Part A, small hyphen. Part A, small hyphen. Structured essay questions. Structured essay questions. Part A, small hyphen and right. Structured essay questions. Part B, essay questions. Part B, essay questions. Right. Then you write part A, part A. Part A comprises of, part A comprises of compulsory, compulsory, comprises of compulsory 4 structured essay questions. 4 structured essay questions. Compulsory 4 structured essay questions. Each question, each question, each question is composed of, each question is composed of sub questions, sub questions as A, B, C, D parts, as A, B, C and D parts. To write the answers, to write the answers in short form, to write the answers in short form, to write the answers in short form. Right. The expected number of points, the expected number of points, the expected number of points in one question, in one question is 40, 40. These 40 points, these 40 points are multiplied, these 40 points are multiplied by 2.5 marks. These 40 points are multiplied by 2.5 marks. These 40 points are multiplied by 2.5 marks. 2.5 marks. To get final mark 100 for that question. To get final mark 100 for that question. To get final mark 100 for that question. Final mark will be 100. Right? The total is 40. The total marks for the structured essay paper is 40. The total marks for the structured essay paper is 40. Right? It is 40 marks. Right. Sorry, I did the mistake. 400. Please change that. The total marks for the structured essay paper is 400 because there will be 4 questions multiplied by 100 for each. Right. We'll go to the B part. Now this is very important. B part. Right. B part contains six essay questions. 6 essay questions. Only 4 essay questions. Only 4 essay questions. Only 4 essay questions should be answered. Only 4 essay questions should be answered. Only 4 essay questions should be answered. 4 essay questions. That means out of the total given, you need to answer only 4. Right? Now, out of these 6, if you look at the paper, there will be 5 questions. Direct questions are given. That means you need to read the question and answer it using your knowledge what you have gathered. Last question is given as right like this. Short notes. Short notes. So last question, like now in that you will be getting A, B, C, 3 things will be written. Imagine one will be given basal metabolic rate or something we can say fetal membranes example. And another one you can write K plus influx hypothesis. Another one we can take skeletal muscle fiber or something like this. Now, when you look at usual essay question, you should write maximum, most of the questions will be like that, 38 points. That means statements. Since it is essay, can you write point wise? No. It has to be an essay, right? When you take the essay, the examiner who will be correcting the paper will read through and check whether the points that you have written is present in the marking scheme, right? Now 38 points. When imagine 38 points are there, 38 times 4. 4 marks for each point. Let's see after multiplication. 252 marks will come. So there it rounds off to 150. So this is how it will be. So then you are expected to obtain how many marks? 150. Like that, 150 times 4 equals 600 marks. Total will be 1000. Why? 400 from the structured essay paper, 600 from the essay, total 1000. 1000 will be bringing back to 50. Then you add that 50 to the previous 50 from the MCQ paper, right? Okay. Now, when you look at it, I told you 152 points. Under this, diagrams also there. Diagrams. So normally for diagrams, it will be assigning maximum 12 marks, 10 marks according to type of the diagram. So when 12 marks have assigned, that has to be deducted from this one. So if so, you will be expected to write how many points? About 34, 36 points. Those 2 points will be included under diagrams. And also when I say diagrams, very importantly, you should keep remember diagrams must be scientific. That means you should draw a clear diagram. Do it need to be artistic? No. But it has to be scientific. What do you mean by scientific? Now I tell one experience during the marking of papers. In that particular year, it was asked to draw the structure of the heart, right? Structure of the heart, and next was asked about something coronary diseases, something coronary diseases related to the heart. Some students have to describe the structure of the heart. You should draw the diagram. Now, when you look at the heart, you could draw like this. It comes this way, like this, and valves come, and also here, like this. Right here will be the pulmonary artery, and here will be the aorta. It goes this way, and here you find the pulmonary artery. Right. Now, when you look at it, right? When you look at it, from this place, it gives superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, and from this side it comes pulmonary arteries. Right. So this is almost clear structure of the heart, and including here you should keep remember there are capillary muscles. And another important thing, chordae tendinae. Those are the white color fibers you find in the heart. Now, we have done dissections. You could see, even we can do dissections and see when you dissect, will you get the human heart to be dissected? No. We will be taking either pig's heart or cow's heart, right? So all the information what we see in the human heart would be similar to those hearts are concerned. Even though we have drawn these two structures, two atria like this, it's very small thing in the actual diagram and in actual situation. Ventricles are much thicker because they are needed much pressure to pump blood, right? Now, when you look at it from the uh, superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, blood will be coming over here and it goes this way and go to the lungs, right? Meantime, from each pulmonary artery, it will bring oxygenated blood to the heart like this. Like this. It comes this way and draw like this, you get full marks. But you sometimes children will be studying diagrams like this. Some children have drawn in the papers, when we correct the papers, it is in yellow paper, right? Not the school paper, yellow paper, like this. They have drawn. So, one they have drawn like this, and like this, and like this, like this. Will they get marks for this? Now, during the paper discussion, or during the paper discussion, before the actual marking, there will be a seminar conducted by the professor who set the paper, right? So, since earlier it was Professor Vijayanapathya, now Professor M.J. Sijaratna, senior professor from the University of California, who is the one setting the paper, right? I mean, he is the chief of the exam panel. He is the one who comes for the discussion. Right? He stated in the beginning, there were some papers in one particular year, children have drawn the heart like this, then he said, give 0 marks to the 0 marks. So even though you have taken time to draw this and mark all this information, 0 marks, but marks was assigned to this one and labels, and also imagine now you have drawn like this, but you didn't label it. Will you get marks? 0. So thoroughly keep remember, when you have drawn a diagram, make sure to label it using the proper labels. It is very, very important. So through that, examiner will realize you know the subject and you have nicely presented it. So the presentation is most important, right? So in the exam paper, make sure that whatever the diagram is expected to draw, you draw it clearly, but no need to be artistic. That means are you supposed to shade it? No, don't shade it. 100% keep remember, no biological diagram should be shaded. It is wrong, right? No biological diagram should be shaded. And also make sure that you use single lines to draw. That is also important. When you are drawing, use single lines, not several lines. You select diagram clearly with single lines to be drawn. It is very, very important. Understood? Right. So all this information you must thoroughly remember, especially in the essay paper is concerned. Very rarely you get time to draw diagrams in the structured essay paper. Most of the time essays are supposed to be draw the diagrams, but structured essay paper, only few diagrams are coming very rarely. Right? Okay. Now, I told you next one, when it comes to the short notes in the essay paper concern, 3. But you need to have a clear picture how the marks will be assigned. 3 are there, right? So when you look at these 3, we can take it like this. 12, 12, 14. Then altogether, 8, 3. How many points? 38 points. Then you should get the picture out of these 3 short notes. Using your subject knowledge, which one you should write? 14 points to maximum. Now, if you have no clear idea about it, what you should do? What you should do? You should write considerable number of points to each and every short note. Now, sometimes when you look at the paper, writing short notes could be advantages or disadvantages. Disadvantage sometimes. Why is it? You should write less. So then you think, okay, this would be enough. But make sure that always, if you can write the bigger essay questions, that would be much supportive, right? So keep remember that points would be assigned. And also another important thing in the essay, read the question clearly and understand what you are supposed to be written. That is also important. Why I am saying? This is in my school experience, one of the paper what I have given. Question was, write an essay, right? Write an essay on the type of cell division that is taking place in zygote. Taking place in zygote. Now, when you look at it, what you should do now? There are two cell division according to your knowledge. One we call mitosis, second we call meiosis. Mitosis, meiosis, right? Out of these two, tell me what should be the cell division. What should be the cell division occurred in gamete producing mother cells. Now, gamete producing mother cells mean the cells you find in the ovary of female and the cells you find in the seminiferous tubules of the testis. Right? What should be the cell division? Is it mitosis or meiosis? It is meiosis. What do you mean by gamete producing mother cells? Mean the place where you produce your gametes. The place where you produce your gametes. Right? Gametes mean in females we call ovum, or in males we call sperm cells. So these cells are being produced in the gamete producing mother cells by the division called reduction division. Reduction division, where it happens in the gamete producing mother cells. And also thoroughly please remember that is the only place you can see meiosis. That means if you look at your rest of the body, that means your skin or other parts of the body, wherever it is concerned, your cell division is mitosis, right? Only the meiosis will happen to produce the gametes. So then my question, I will repeat once more the question, right? Write an account on the cell division that takes place in the zygote. What is the answer? You should write about mitosis. Why? Egg, or you can say ovum plus sperm produces zygote. Ovum plus sperm produces zygote, right? So zygote means one cell. And also keep remember the production of ovum and sperm undergoes meiosis. But the resultant outcome, these are called haploid. This is diploid. All the diploid cells, that means cells with two sets of chromosomes, you call the cells which is subjecting with mitosis to divide. Only the meiosis will happen, that is also in the diploid cell, to produce either ovum or sperm, right? Only meiosis will happen to produce ovum or sperm, but mitosis will happen in any place of the body, even in the fetus, during the development. What is the cell division that occurs is mitosis. The cell division that occurs is mitosis. So that important point you should thoroughly remember. So from your head to the toe, except the place where the gametes are being produced, rest of the whole body, your cell division is mitosis. Even during your development. So when you take your development very first, you will be appearing as a small ball of cells within the mother's body, right? We call zygote, will be dividing mitotically, form uh, morula stage, many cells. This morula further divides and will be forming blastula and will be implanted in the mother's endometrium of the womb, or you call uterus, and final outcome will be the fetus. So to happen all these events, what is the cell division should be mitosis. Understood? Right. So this is the clear idea that you want to keep remember. Now we went through the paper structure, so you have a clear picture how much the weight that you need to keep on it to score good marks. So this idea I gave it at the very beginning. Why is it? With this idea you have correct attention to go ahead, because then going without knowing the depth of it, it would be much easier if you have the prior knowledge what is the depth of the paper, because our target is to achieve good marks. So to get good marks you need to have the picture, because simply imagine if you are swimming, I don't know whether you do sports, swimming or not, anyway, you should know the depth of the water, you should know the water currents, whether it is moving to this way or other way, because tell me, just a common thing to ask, swimming in a pool and swimming in a river, which one is easy? Pool is easy. Why? There is no water currents. But when you go to the river or a stream, there will be water current. So you should swim against it. So it is difficult. If you swim towards it, okay, but it is dangerous. Swimming against it, okay, because you have some force applying over there, right? So that's the reason you should know it. I mean, imagine if you are riding a bicycle or if you are driving a vehicle. First of all, you should know the things in it. How to apply brakes, how to act when it is an emergency, all this. So to get that clear idea, first you have to study the background. So that's why I gave you the background knowledge of the paper. Through that background knowledge, you will be getting onto it with clear understanding. Otherwise, if somebody come and say, oh no, this is easy subject, if you just study and write the paper, you can do it. No, already keep remember, because sometimes some people will be misleading you. Different classes are there, right? But they will be saying theory class, label class, and revision class. I mean, even during your O-levels you may have experience, but my plan, I do all this in the same. That means theoricum, questions, theoricum, revision, all these things go together, because no need to do separate revision and all, because along with it, if you go ahead at the end, you have enough time to do other work, mean other subjects, because this is not a simple task. Within these 2 years, you have to thorough on biology, you need to thorough on chemistry, you need to thorough on physics. So all these three, it's a very important, it's kind of a game, right? Because will you pass the A-level exam if you know all the facts and figures in the A-level syllabus? No. You should know how to play the game, right? So if you know how to play the game, you can win it. So you should know what are the things to know, and also correct understanding is important. Without clear understanding, if you just go in darkness like this and all, you don't know where you are going, right? Because we have observed children like that. Because when they give you won't believe, right? Even still I have evidences. There are some students, even how much we advise, they won't listen, right? They won't listen to those, and they think, no, 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 we can do at last. They just leisurely do, just go to class. No. Will you pass exam just going to class? No. Right? You can just go to class. Okay. I was in the class with the best teacher in the world, I went through and all, I got the experience. No, you never pass the exam. What is the ultimate thing that you should do? You must do your individual work. It is the most important thing, right? With your individual work or with your individual performance, you will definitely win the game. So make sure that from the day what you have taken the decision that you want to do A levels, right? Make sure you work regularly. Even imagine if you have not gone to a class in other subjects, just take your available what do you call resource books or whatever it is clearly and try to understand. Right? And also, if you have a whiteboard at home, right, the best way to understand, best way to memorize, best way to score marks, that you use your whiteboard at home. Even I have told in the school also, in the school students and all. Why I am saying, you one thing improve your skill of drawing, diagrams and all the work you will. And also, when you are writing, you see the point what you are writing. Because when you just write in papers, okay, because studying with paper to be written and also drawing diagrams and making short notes, you actively engage. So thoroughly keep remember that. Okay. Right. And also, before we step on to the syllabus, one I do advise, in future you will be doctors, right? Because our objective is to become doctor. Make sure that when you are becoming a doctor, you have good concern on others. That means you need to have pleasant mindset against other people, because some children are there, they study, they pass the exam and everything, but they have no concern on others, because you need to have the good sense on others. They are feeling as you are going to be a doctor. Then only he'll be automatically coming. Because if you do good, automatically the good will follow you. Right? So that is very important. So thoroughly remember that. Okay. So let's start the lesson proper. Right? Right. You write, there are 10 units. First write the units, number of units. There are 10. Okay. Right. One by one we'll write. Unit 1. Unit 1. What we are studying today. Introduction to biology. Introduction to biology. Unit 2. Unit 2. Chemical and cellular basis of life. Chemical and cellular basis of life. Unit 3. Evolution. Evolution and diversity of organisms. Evolution and diversity of organisms. Unit 4. Unit 4. Plant form and function. Plant form and function. Unit 5. Animal form and function. Animal form and function. Unit 6. Genetics. Genetics. Unit 7. Molecular biology and recombinant DNA technology. Molecular biology and recombinant DNA technology. Molecular biology and recombinant DNA technology. Unit 8. Environmental biology. Environmental biology. Environmental biology. Unit 9. Microbiology. Microbiology. Unit 10. Applied biology. Applied biology. Right. Now, first unit, only few things to be studied. In the exam also, sometimes one MCQ question, or sometimes what you call a small part in the structured essay paper would be questioning in related to that. But the core of biology is the unit 2. That means all the information related to the chemical components, most important biological processes, enzyme action, everything you will be studying in the unit 2. Unit 3, very interesting. There are a lot of things to keep memorizing, but not a difficult thing. But if you just keep them in order, you can easily keep remember. It is studying about the diversity of organisms, including the evolutionary process, where geological time scale, how these changes being happen, will be studying under that unit. Unit 3. And unit 4, you completely study the structure of the plant body and how plant do their physiological functions related to their morphology. All these things you study under plant form and function, including plant reproduction. Now, when you look at plant reproduction lesson and the unit 3 plant form is their small thing according to the diversity. So, my pattern usually what I do, unit 3, that plant section where the lower groups we call Pognatum, then Nephrolepis, Selaginella, then Cycas, Angiosperms, all these together, their life cycles I will combine to the unit 4 reproduction lesson. So then it is easy for you to understand what are the facts given in the unit 3. So then easy to start. After that we will complete the animal part in the unit 3. Finally, you will be studying the other sections of the plant form and function right after completion of the unit 3. And then when we come to unit 5 is the most important. What is the reason for it? About 35% or more than that would be present in the A-level paper when you go through the whole paper, taken from the unit 5 animal form and function. And also now we have observed a certain trend in the recent papers, they are giving questions from the latter sections under the Unit 5, even the other sections. Because earlier they have studied completely the whole paper with main units and latter parts given later, but now they are trying to take questions from the latter parts. Even there was a question about the birth controlling methods that is come under the very last part of the Unit 5, right, in the annual paper recently. So it means that we need to go through the whole syllabus A to Z. That is very important. Right? Then Unit 6 you will be studying very important unit, that is genetics, how inheritance has taken place, all this information you will be studying under the unit 6, right? Okay. Then when you come to the unit 7, that is molecular biology and recombinant DNA technology. Now this lesson is very important. Why is it? Those who are scoring very good marks in the A-level examination, sometimes than medicine, they prefer to go to the degree program is there in Colombo University, molecular biology degree program, because it is highly demanding, and that demand was increased from 2019. Why is it? Not 2019, actually 2020 somewhere. What was the reason? Along with the pandemic, right? Along with the pandemic, you can remember the COVID-19. After that, people suffered and couldn't able to find proper reason for all these things. But finally, they were able to find the right information through PCR, polymerase chain reaction. So what you do in that, available small quantity of DNA will exaggerate, you multiply, right? So what is it now? This is common sense. You can remember, I think you were very small when it is coming to COVID somewhere in grade 6 or 5. Grade 7, right? Small age, right? No idea about what is DNA and what is virus, nothing. But now you know most of the things. But anyway, during that time, there were a lot of things discussed and scientists said many things. There were two tests you can remember. One was the antigen test, other one was the PCR. Now, when you look at those two tests, what was the most important test? It was PCR, because PCR gives the right information 100%, but antigen test to be done, you should have the antigen, that means you must have undergone the infection, right? But PCR, even though you have undergone infection, within few hours time you can get the result, because you just take a subsample from your respiratory tract and will analyze for the presence of viral DNA. So through the polymerase chain reaction, you can increase the amount of DNA, and further studies you can do. Even Sri Lankan professor found that treatment method for the COVID in Colombo University through his research work. So like that, even when you are excelled in the subject, now there are some there were students, those who scored good marks, gone to the Colombo University for that, some have gone to medicine. But sometimes when you go medicine, sometimes you think, I wanted to excel in microbiology, I want to excel in molecular biology, because those two areas are highly demanding when you go abroad, right? Because what we are studying here not only to apply only in this country, because it is open that you can apply your knowledge in abroad, right? Foreign countries. So, because when you just simply see, there is greater demand for Asian students for foreign universities, right? Because even just those we studied with us, did in our degree program when we are studying, there were students who did first, who scored first class in chemistry special, zoology special, and all, applied for universities to go on for the higher studies. Even after doing your medicine degree, you can apply to the scholarships and you can go for the higher studies, right? But make sure you need to have additional qualification, but your English proficiency, either IELTS or TOEFL, you can apply with it and you can go for that, right? Okay, then unit 8, what you are studying? Environment. Completely, what are the things happen in the environment along with the biotic component and the abiotic component you will be studying in the unit 8. Then unit 9, unit 8 further, when you look at, you study food chains, food webs, and how these changes being taken place. All these things you will study under the unit 8, and conservation methodologies, and what are the acts available. All these facts you will be gathered under unit 8. Then unit 9, microbiology, you study all the microscopic organisms and you get clear picture how they support to different things happen in the surrounding. Microbes are important to our body, as well as microbes are important to day-to-day life, to do some our biotechnological things. We can simply say bread making, or you can say biofuel making, or you can say production of the alcohol. All these things you will be using the microbes. Even antibiotics manufacturing. Now, the very first antibiotic was what? Can you remember? Penicillin. It was actually found accidentally, right? Accidentally found when the fungus was attacked the given bacterium culture. They analyzed it and found that. So, like that, microbiology is very important. You will be studying how the purification of water, all these things under this unit. And last, very important, applied biology. Applied biology. In school, but in private we can't do that, institution wise. But in school, what we do, we usually arrange field visits related to the applied biology, either Udawalawa or Kalawaya or somewhere. Centers, they have different programs assigned how the fish breeding process are being conducting, and how to view rare ornamental fish. Now, you may have a question. We are planning to be doctors. Why this kind of unit has given in A-level biology? You may have a question. The reason is, there are some students, even though we think that we need to be doctors in future, there are some students, they wanted to do some different studies, right? Now, I just say one example. In our school, a maths student, right? The one who is doing maths. Normally we know that those who are doing maths, either they want to be a civil engineer or electronic or something else they do. But there is a boy who wants to be marine engineer, like that, right? So different aspects. So the problem is in Sri Lanka you have no universities assigned for it. Through the A-level results to go, you have to do it in private, right? Okay. So like that. So it is depending on your sole perspective and your interest. And also keep remember now, you may have chosen this subject, your interest. So that interest is very important, because when you love the subject, right, automatically you feel to study it, and since you make it, figure it out, I want to be like this, automatically it gives you clear outcome with your interest. Because imagine if you do it, I don't want to do this, and you don't like it, and all will work. No. First of all, you should thoroughly remember your interest and how much you love it and what is your ultimate objective to be achieved. So you think on it, right? So automatically when we call with the surrounding, you get automatically the support. Even your friends will be supporting you, parents and teachers, since you are showing commendable outcome, right? So thoroughly keep remember, through that you can easily get ultimate target what you are planning to be. Okay, so let's move on to the first page number given. It is nature, scope, and importance of biology with reference to challenges faced by the mankind. So this is given to you to give you an idea uh, regarding the whole biology, what we are planning to do, and all this information. Through that, you will be moving on to the rest of the units. Right. First one, biology means what is given? Biology is science. True, science. That is study of living things. Right? What do you mean by a living thing? The individual that carries out metabolic reactions. Right? Metabolic reactions, we simply call it as living. Right? Metabolic reactions occur. And they are vital processes, right? What do you mean by a metabolic reaction? Either synthesizing or breakdown, or you call catabolic and anabolic reactions being taken place in the body. Such individual, you call it as living. So then you could see there are some individuals, those things are not happened, then you call not living. Now when you look at a virus, is it living or non-living? Yeah, both carries, but mainly we categorize it as a non-living particle because we simply say virus particles. So you could see protein component plus yes, protein plus nucleic acids. Right? Protein plus nucleic acids, two components are there. So you get a clear picture. No lipids found in virus. No lipids found in virus. Okay. The word biology is derived from the Greek words bios, meaning life, and logos, meaning study. Right? Bios meaning life, and logos meaning study, and is defined as the science of life and living organisms. Simply state the branches of biology. So we can write there are many branches under biology. So we'll just write one by one. If you want, you can write the description of it also, right? So first branch we'll write cell biology, small hyphen and write study the cellular processes, with cell structures, that is cell biology. Cellular processes with cell structures. Right. Then you go to the next one. Histology. Study of tissues. Histology, study of tissues. Now this is very interesting unit because you won't get much chance to work on it in the A-level syllabus, but when you go to university level, you time to work on the tissues. The reason you will be getting hands-on experience to make slides. Now, what we see slides, you can simply make it into the school level, but there is a real process to be applied. We call using a special device called microtome. It cuts tissues into subsections. First of all, you make a wax block. So you take a small quantity of a tissue and pass it through a series of dehydration, removing water. Right? After removing water, you will make it into a wax block, into a block of wax, and this wax block will be inserted into the machine called microtome. So the microtome machine has a blade that runs up and down continuously. The blade runs. So when the blade is moving, you can see a very long piece of wax in thin pieces come out continuously. Then you heat the wax piece over there and get the thin membrane what is come out from the microtome, and you mount it on the slide and observe, right? So it is needed to have the technical experience to do it. Very easily you can get the outcome through that experience. So when you go to the university level, you get that experience, how to make the tissues, and also how to get a blood smear, and how to mount cells. We call, there are two types of mounting. One we call temporary mounting, second you call permanent mounting, right? So permanent mounting, you will be using a special chemical substance called cannabalsam. So it is a carcinogenic chemical, but once it is getting dried, no harm. You should not get contact with it when you are using it. So like that, you can make many slides in your practical work when you are doing in the university level. But A-level, sometimes you may get a chance to make simple slides, or you call like what you call wet mounts. Wet mounts are concerned, very easy, right? Okay, then we will go to the next one. Anatomy. Small hyphen, the study of gross structure of the body, and their related functions, gross structure of the body and their related functions. Next one you write physiology, P-H-Y-S-I-O-L-O-G-Y, physiology. Small hyphen, right? The study of the action of systems, within the body. The action of systems within the body. Next one, biochemistry. Small hyphen, right? The detailed study of biological molecules biological molecules and their functions. Biological molecules and their functions. Then you write next one, genetics. Small hyphen, right? Study of inheritance, study of inheritance, study of inheritance. Next one, ecology, ecology, E-C-O-L-O-G, ecology. Study of environment, study of environment, study of environment. Next one you write, molecular biology, molecular biology, small hyphen, study of nucleic acids, nucleic acids, and they are related, activities of the nucleic acids, including recombinant technology, including recombinant technology, Right. Let's move on to the next one. Now, next topic given, issues pertaining to biology. Now, there are 7 points given here. 7 points given. One is understanding biological diversity, understanding the human body and its functions. Next one, sustainable use and management of natural resources and environment, sustainable food production, understanding plant life, understanding diseases and causes, solving some legal and ethical issues, right? First you write, go to the first point, understanding biological diversity. Now when you look at this biological diversity, you need to keep remember the whole earth, including the abiotic, biotic, all these things are concerned, you could see a greater diversity among the living component. So that variation what you see within the living component, we simply call diversity. If there is no such diversity, what will be the problem arising? Each and every individual will rely on the same resource. So then there will be a major problem arising, competition. Why rely on the same resource? So there is no way to get any other. But when you look at the surrounding, there is a greater diversity. You could see a lot of species, and you can say animal species, plant species, fungal species, protista. Likewise, greater difference you could see in the group wise. Within the animals, you could see diversity. Even within a species, you can see that each and every individual is not 100% alike. Among them, certain variation is there. So, what is the importance of it? This variation will be supporting to give a clear difference among them and to divide the resources according to the requirement of each and every. So competition will be minimized, then each and every organism can live in harmony. And also when you know the diversity, you can observe what are the threats that could be available to certain group of organisms by looking at whether the available number is declining or any threat is there. So like, okay, we'll write the brief description there under the understanding biological diversity, right? Right. Among living organisms, greater differences could be observed. According to their morphology. What do you mean by morphology? Their body structure. According to their morphology, physiology, behavior, mode of nutrition, habitat, and their interactions with the abiotic environment. Their interactions with the abiotic environment. Scientists have found out that each and every organism has a specific role. Each and every organism has a specific role in the environment for the existence of the biosphere. And it is named as niche. 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 It is named as niche. So what do you mean by niche? Functional role of any organism. an organism in the given environment. Right. Next point. The greater diversity, of the organisms ensure the survival of the organisms, in the given environment. Survival of the organisms in the given environment. Survival of the organisms in the given environment. And this diversity minimizes the competition, among individuals, and spread the resources, between each other. Spread the resources between each other. Spread the resources between each other. Right. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. Right. Next one, understanding the human body and its functions, right? Now, when you know the human body, so you can take a decision what are the types of food that you must take, and whether you want to take medicine to a certain disease, or what are the exercises that you need to do to keep your body healthy. All these things you know that if you have the clear picture of the human body. So then, as a biological science student or as an individual who studied biology, is need to understand the human body and its functions. Okay, right now, the human body is a complex structure like other higher groups of animals, like other higher groups of animals, therefore the systems of the human body command the actions of each systems and the interactions with these systems related to the variable conditions, variable conditions in the environment, that is both internal and external environment, that is both internal and external environment is important to study, is important to study. The complete knowledge of the system, the complete knowledge of the system, the complete knowledge of the system ensures, the complete knowledge of the system ensures how an individual, should act to keep the system healthier, should act to keep the system healthier. Further, what are the actions to be taken? Further, what are the actions to be taken? What are the actions to be taken if the system has some issue in malfunctioning due to the changes of the conditions, and also it ensures how one particular system could be related to another system with regard to the changes in the conditions. Right. Okay. Now with we'll continue next day, right? We'll make it 8:30 to 11:30 next day. Today I have to bit earlier to wind up, right? So, so this is our plan. So we do theory. Meantime, for each unit, we will do questions. The paper will be given to you. You can do it at home, and questions will be discussed. So then, theory questions will be going ahead. As a result, you will completely covering up your subject matter. So that is how it will be. Okay. So we'll wind up there.